guys, it's Dominique, aka That Therapist. For those of you that don't know me, I'm the lead clinician and CEO for a group practice known as Yellowbird Counseling. So we serve the states of Alabama, Florida, Mississippi, and Louisiana, and we provide individual, couples, family, and group therapies to individuals and residents in those 4 states. So definitely, if you need us, feel free to go to yellowbirdcounseling.com and check us out. Check our therapist out. You're able to look at their bios. You're able to look at their videos and check them out. But what does that mean for us here on social media? Well, what we do on social media is every Thursday evening at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, we present topics that the general population of people can relate to and tie it back to how we all need therapy. Well, this month we're focusing more specifically on minority populations because it is Minority Mental Health Awareness Month. And even more specifically, we're focusing on the African American community and building blocks to healthy relationships, because I've seen a lot of buzz on social media about being in a relationship versus being single and wanting this and wanting that as it relates to relationship. So what better gift to give to my community in the name of Mental Health Awareness Month, but presenting different topics that can assist you on that journey to building healthy relationships with your friends, your family, and your dating interest, okay? So the first week, what we discussed was effective communication. What does that look like? Areas that therapists may be able to help you with if you're struggling. Instances as to why minorities, more specifically African Americans, may have a deficit in that area based on our historical past. Secondly, we discussed self-accountability. Last week, we discussed healthy boundaries, and we're going to wrap it up in a nice bow with healthy reciprocity. So I felt like maybe I should have a guest. I haven't had any guests on. Y'all know the therapist came last month and helped us out. I don't even know what we did. What was last month? Was that Men's Health Month? Whatever it was, they were on. So, I try to let them just chill for a little bit. But I have another guest who is actually not a therapist, just a special guest. And I will let her introduce herself. Let me get the stuff going. Hey there.
Hi, guys. I'm sorry. And if I'm not the epitome of a Black woman at this moment, getting my hair braided.
We love it.
Love to see it. We love it.
So tell us who you are so we know.
So I am, Star, but I'm Erica Robbins. I am the founder and executive director of Be a Blessing Birmingham, which is a nonprofit organization that deals with homelessness and bringing awareness to the plight of the homeless community in the greater Birmingham area. Also an activist and advocate for all marginalized groups in general. Like, I just love people and I fight for people because why not? We gotta be good people and good humans and make use of the space that we have while we're on this earth.
So which marginalized populations?
What are marginalized populations? Which ones?
Tell us what they are and then tell us which ones so we just know more specifically.
Okay, marginalized groups are groups that are marginalized, like they're in the minority, right? So of course I am an activist, so I advocate for Black lives. You can see my BLM necklace on here, but also the LGBTQIA plus community, as well as, and I sit in the background, but I am an advocate and I help advocate in whichever way they need me with the Latinx community, Asian community, basically anybody that's got a problem and they tell me to show up, I show up and I just am there sometimes just to hold space. Sometimes they want my opinion. If I'm not a member of that community, then I don't assert my opinion. I wait and see if they need it. And if they don't need it, I'm just there to hold space and to be a good ally.
Cool. Well, thanks for your contribution to marginalized populations and your contribution to joining us to discuss minority mental health issues. So,
Thanks for having me
yeah. All right.
because it is a big problem. And it is so very important that we as Black people take the time to take care of our mental health.
Love it. Shout out to the breeder.
Yes, shout out to my braider, Manisha Anderson, best in Birmingham. So, yeah.
You're trying to get your wig tightened up. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to get your box braids laid. Hit her up.
Thank you. Commercial break.
Love it, love it. Why not? I mean, we are all things. We're Black owned, so we're all things Black owned and supported. So, absolutely. All right. So, to begin our discussion, I thought that it would be a great way to wrap up our discussion, our installments of the building blocks of healthy relationships with healthy reciprocity. So, I like to break it down very, very fundamentally with definitions for people to understand. Because I feel like we throw around words a lot of times, we don't really know what they mean. We just say it because we heard somebody else say it. So you give us, before I share, tell us what is your definition of reciprocity?
For me, reciprocity means that you are getting back what you're putting out, whatever energy that is into the world, into your relationships, no matter what kind of relationships, whether it's a romantic relationship, a working relationship, a friendship, whatever kind of relationship, is that you are getting just as much as you are giving.
Cool. I got questions about that, but let me share my definition first and then I'll ask you. So, of course, I'm going to give y'all what the dictionary say because some of y'all, that's all y'all want to hear is what the dictionary say. So, for you, I have the dictionary definition. So, it's the practice of exchange. So, exchange, I would break down exchange ordinarily, but I felt like we could do all right without me defining what exchange means. So it's giving and taking, giving and taking. It's an exchange of some type, of some kind. From one person to another, or one group to another, or one country to another. It's an exchange between two bodies or beings. Um, to make it more specific, we're talking about being granted some sort of privilege or some sort of really just a privilege. Being granted some sort of privilege or ability or power or whatever in whatever that exchange is. So some of you may already start feeling some sort of way about because our views of reciprocity can be very skewed and they can be very demonized and tainted a lot of times. So my question to you is why do you think that is, or specifically for our community, that those can be an area of challenge for us?
Because we have not been there's been a disconnect in relationships in general, and we still have a lot of baggage from traumas, our past traumas, right? As Black people, specifically, we have, whether we want to admit it or not, so much trauma still steeped in slavery and being controlled and being told what we could and could not do, what we could or could not have, where, and all these things, that it has created a disconnect when it comes to how we see roles and what people should do versus what we think they should do. And then people don't grow up the same. So you have that. That's also a barrier that causes a disconnect as well. You may have someone that grew up in a two-parent household where they saw what they would deem reciprocity between both parents. And then you may have someone that grew up in a single parent household whose the parent that was not in the household didn't um, show any kind of reciprocity to the parent that was the guardian. So there is a disconnect in that because they never learned or never saw what we would think is considered healthy reciprocity. So we
Right.
don't. So then they don't know how to give it, and they don't know how to ask for it.
For our community that may not understand, or even for bystanders watching who may not understand, who may think, oh, slavery has no effect on us today, blah, 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 blah. Tell us maybe some specific, if you can, historical examples of how um, slavery and segregation, no civil rights, how that impact, like what are specific examples of that impacting our ability to engage?
You went out when you were saying the beginning of your question.
I was asking, what are some specific instances in which uh, reciprocity could be hard as it relates to things that happened in the past that could impact us still today?
Right. So, say for instance, women being expected to do certain things um, out of obligation versus it's their prerogative to do it or not, but they choose to do it. So you should appreciate the fact that they're doing it. That is steeped in slavery, as well as on the flip side, if we're thinking in heteronormative thinking, men are supposed to, they were the laborers, and even when the women would go away to feed their children or the children of said owners, the men were still required to do everything physical labor without any thanks. So then that in turn now we think about it not so much now. Things are kind of changing as far as what people see as what roles are, but in general, a lot of people still believe in patriarchal standards of what people's roles are. So men are expected, if we're dealing and thinking about the patriarchy, with their task with paying all the bills, making sure that everything is taken care of in the household out of obligation, not because this is a thing that they want to do, and then no appreciation for doing those things. Same with women. Women are expected to cook and clean and take care of the kids out of obligation, not because it's a thing that they choose to do and they should be appreciated for it.
Right. Yeah. So, kind of taking it more to Black people, the idea of exchange. How do you think that has impacted us historically? How have we been impacted by our ability to even engage in exchange?
We weren't given that. You're right. It's like there was no exchange. We gave free labor, and for in not so long ago, like this, it wasn't like people try to say these things happen like a long. No, there are people alive that work for free, and they were there are people that are still living, that can tell you stories of not only just like slavery, but indentured servitude. Um, that was just, slavery just went from slavery in that term to just changing it to indentured servitude. You work for me, and then you pay for your crops or your seeds and stuff through your crops when you get them. Sharecropping became a thing. We still weren't getting. We still were always in the hole. Like you never were catching up. So we were never properly giving the exchange rate for the labor in which we were doing. So that led to a lot of men, older men, if you think of the older, like boomer generation, Papa was a Rolling Stone. He did, if he took care of the house, it was fine. He could go off and do whatever and have 5 families and blah, blah, blah. And nobody really batted an eye to it because that's just what men do. And so they were able to do that. And then the women that were at home, they weren't given proper exchange either. They were just expected to accept this treatment and also accept the fact that they have to stay at home and keep all these damn kids that Papa has all over town, and not get the reciprocity, the exchange, the appreciation for being that person that she did not have to be. But it was just the mentality was steeped in our, it's so ingrained in our DNA, like still to this day, right now. We all have that, and which is why I know you said, and I said also, all Black people need therapy, because we all, whether we want to admit it or not, have these traumas that we are still suffering from today. We are still, and sometimes we don't even realize it until it comes out that, oh my gosh, this thing that I'm talking about, this problem that I'm having actually has roots predating my existence, right? It is the mental gymnastics that we are constantly having to play as Black people because of something that we were not even here for, but because it was taught, it's been ingrained into our DNA throughout the years, and we're having to unlearn all these things. And that's a process. And again, Black people, we want to pray everything away. Well, that just doesn't work. Okay. It's not going to work that way. You're going to have to do the work to actively tear down those walls that were put up because of systemic racism, because of the patriarchy, because of these things that were done to us. That's not our fault that they were done to us, but the fact that they were lets us know that we have to tear that down. And in order to do that, we actively have to work towards tearing that down to have healthy relationships.
So, all in all, would you say the lack of our experience with equality has led to us being crippled in our ability to engage in healthy reciprocity?
Absolutely.
Cool. So, I just don't know. Like, I think it's just going to take us continuing to have spaces and where we can talk about it and have a structure to teaching our community that skill, because still today, even though slavery is in its traditional sense is no more.
But it still is in the prison system that is
For
still, yeah.
those, I'm using my air quote,
Oh,
who don't understand that, we still are not equal to white America. So because we have to continue to be subjected to inequality, I think in our minds we process as a relational exchange as one person in a place of power and the other person in a place of submission. And if you're this person, you're less than. You have to be this person. So I think we can even extend that to talk about how our crab in a barrel mentality can develop. Because we see relationship like this instead of an equal exchange. So then there's fear associated with exchanging anything. So I don't know. That's what my thoughts are.
I am totally in agreement.
Well, let's talk about some different types of reciprocity for those of you that this could be a new concept for, or for those of you that would like to assess your ability to engage in reciprocity. So we have three different types. We have generalized reciprocity, which is what we ordinarily see it as a give and take. It may not be an immediate give and take. So, like in a friendship, if we go out for drinks or something and I get your drink, maybe I don't expect you to get my drink right then, but in the future, you might get my drink at some unknown time. So, with that, where do you think we might struggle?
Because a lot of people feel a sense of entitlement, so they feel like, well, I'm entitled to you doing for me, and I don't owe you anything in return, so I don't need to buy you a drink next week because you should just do for me because I'm entitled to it. And yeah, no, that's not cool.
Yeah, definitely not. But where do you think gets people to that place of entitlement? Besides the fact that they could possibly have a personality disorder.
Selfish.
And where is that behavior learned from?
Home. It's a
Mm-hmm.
learned behavior. You don't grow, you're not born selfish, right? That's the thing that you have to learn. And you have to actively decide to be selfish, right? It's not a thing that people are just like, oh, well, I'm going to be selfish because why not? No. No. You actively have to decide, I am going to put myself above other people because I feel that I am superior to other people. So therefore, everyone should just bow down to me, and I am because I'm better. And
Yep.
so give me all the things, and I give you nothing in return, but allowing you to be in my space.
So I think with that too, um, maybe that could be something that's been passed down out of a place of survival and not having the foundations in history to be able to practice healthy give and take. If you're the taker, you're empowered, you're entitled, something about you makes you better than. And so if you're this person, you don't get equal privilege, which wouldn't be reciprocity, but that's the way that we've experienced reciprocity historically in general. So for people to feel
Scarcity mentality also it can be a cause of that.
You said what? Say it again.
Scarcity mentality.
Mm-hmm. Which also comes from our history of just, you
Not
know,
having.
not having anything, and not having anything in abundance or knowing what that's like.
Right.
So, um, when we talk about it, I want to make the delineation because people be like, I know there's the be selfish, think about yourself culture. I'm not talking about that. There's a difference between having boundaries and being in a relationship of any kind with someone else that you don't feel you have to contribute to. They two different things. So I wanted to make that clarification because I don't want people being like, Dominique said it ain't okay to be selfish. It is okay to focus on yourself, to yourself. And if you are in a space where you don't feel you have anything else to give to someone else, you don't probably engage in that relationship. You don't have the space for it. You don't need to be in it just kind of freeloading and mooching while the other person does all the work, but you get to spend time and do for you by yourself unless you can do for you and contribute to whatever relationship you choose to engage. So yeah. Um so then we negative reciprocity, which is the coercion of someone engaging in something they may not be willing to give or take. So pressuring somebody into doing something in any way, whether that's physically, with their finances, their resources. And I know that's the thing that happens a lot in Black families, like with parents to children. Well, what's yours is mine, and what's mine is mine. And so if you make this money and you live in my house, your money is mine. But that's not that just perpetuates the problem of not being able to practice reciprocity when we carry that mindset around. What are your thoughts?
Totally, totally agree. Like that, and it doesn't even have to be. It's any a negative reciprocity will be anything that someone is unwilling to give you um, of their own free will, but you make it to where they feel they have to, whether it be through grown-up activities or money or relationships, um, like relationship things. I don't know.
Like sex?
Yeah. Well, I didn't know what I can and cannot say on here, but yeah.
Sex.
Yes. So making your partner feel obligated to give you sex when they don't want to, and then they do it anyway. That's negative reciprocity to me, because you um, used or asserted some kind of dominance or made them feel bad to the point of, okay, I guess because you said, you did this for me, so I should have to do this for you, and here we go.
Yep. I was looking at some of the comments to see. They're saying they heard some feedback. I kind of hear it too, but I'm not sure how much we can actually do about it. So sorry, guys. Um, let's see. I'm scrolling and looking. Oh no, okay. Sorry, guys, about the feedback. That's what y'all talking about. Okay.
No, some of them were talking about the negative reciprocity, and then about having scarcity mentality. She said
Oh,
that she's had scarcity mentality, and she's still undoing um, the scarcity mentality.
yep. That is something that really, like, I work on that regularly on a weekly basis with clients and clients that have been in therapy with me for a long time because of the fact that because of the fact that mindset is so deeply ingrained into our experience as just as African American humans, and just how we move, and that being passed down in different ways through our interactions with family and friends, etc. So sometimes clients aren't even aware that that's the core of that. But thanks to cognitive behavioral therapy, we get to the core belief system that is causing you to exhibit maladaptive or behavioral responses that you might not necessarily feel most comfortable with, or may feel there's something going on with. So we're able to track it. We're able to make sense of what beliefs do I have that cause me to think this way on a daily basis, which cause me to feel this way, which cause me to respond this way. So one of those is that just that scarcity lack mindset, that we only gonna have what we got, and if we give anything away, we're never gonna have again.
And the same thing with, I was talking to you about it before, is that certain luxuries that Black women, especially, are not expected to want, or that we deserve, because we've been taught that that's not a thing. Like, you shouldn't be able to be a stay-at-home mom or wife. You shouldn't be able to get a luxury handbag. You shouldn't be able to wear nice things because of that scarcity mentality that has been put into us. And also, it's because we've always been taught that we were less than. So we didn't deserve to have the nice things that our counterparts, no one bats an eye when they're given these things. Just say their spouse was to show reciprocity to them by giving them a new car or a new bag or a housekeeper. Mm-hmm. Because that's a thing and a luxury that Black women deserve. But our community, because of what the mindset that we have, we've been taught that that's not a level of reciprocity that we deserve, or that we should even try to have. Like, that we shouldn't even, how dare us not clean our own house? How dare you not do your own laundry? You got to be a strong Black woman, blah, blah. Yeah, I ain't buying it. And it's, again, these are negatives that have been ingrained in our DNA that we are going to have to continue to unlearn, so that we understand that Black in itself, as my guy on TikTok said, is luxury, and we deserve these things. It is okay if you work all day and you come home and someone else cleans your house,
or fixes your food,
or picks your kids up from school. That does not make you a bad spouse. It doesn't make you a bad parent. It doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you mentally sane. Okay? Because we take on so much stuff that we don't have time for self-care, and that is a form of self-care. That is actually reciprocity to ourselves. I am giving myself the treat of not having to clean my home when I get home from working all day. I am showing myself love by getting someone else to do that.
Yep.
And we don't practice self-reciprocity. That is a thing. And we don't really think of it as a thing, but it absolutely is. We deserve to show ourselves, and we deserve to give ourselves love. And that is showing, that self-reciprocity is showing ourselves that, I did this. I am, a good person. I work hard. do everything that I need to do. I help in my community. I deserve a thing. Let me give myself a thing and not feel bad. And then we shouldn't have people making us feel bad about giving ourselves love, showing ourselves love, providing reciprocity for ourselves.
Love it. I love that because that is just, I was talking to a client today about that. And they were talking about their business partner feeling like they shouldn't be having somebody clean their house. I'm like, we need to talk about boundaries for business partners, people that you want to engage in business with, because that kind of mindset is going to bleed over into business practice, thinking like that, thinking that you don't, because there's just no way. And I know some people, we were looking at, what was it, selling sunset or selling whatever, the realtor show, and the little black girl was like, I'm a mom, I'm a realtor, I'm a wife, like saying all of that. You got her saying all of that and kind of saying, "Oh, it can be done. You can do it." And then we got another lady, a white lady, saying, "I can't do all that." So if you can't do that, all which you shouldn't be expected to. I don't.
That's the one, two, and the three. We as black women are expected to be superwoman, and that's just not. It's not. No, no. We should not have to work ourselves to death, literally, because that's what's been taught to us. Because that's what's ingrained in our DNA back from slavery. That we work regardless of if we're sick. We work. If you're tired, no matter, still work. You got a broke leg, I'm sorry, go out there and plow the field. You on your cycle and your cramps are killing you, well, I'm sorry, just put on double protection and get yourself on back out to work. That is the mentality that is in our DNA, and society still throws that on us. We have men folk that really expect women to do all these things. I'm sorry, no. And then, some of the toxic stuff that I see in heteronormative relationships, like, you expect me to go to work all day, come home, cook, clean, take care of the kids, and have sex with you? Hello, when am I going to have time for me? When is so that again? Here we go with the lack of reciprocity. I'm doing all these things and I'm not getting anything in return. So when am I feeding myself? When am I able to feed what I need? And then that brings in issues with the relationship, because now you're going to have someone that has a whole ass attitude because, whew, I'm tired. I do all this and don't nobody care. Don't nobody ever say thank you. And everybody expects me to do this. And then that's when relationships start to have a problem. That's when the breakdown comes down, because now you're resentful of your partner for expecting you to be the superwoman that you really just cannot be. Mm-hmm. We don't deserve that. We don't deserve it.
Absolutely. Y'all please share this live for us as your contribution to minority mental health, because this is a discussion at least one person on your timeline needs to hear for their own peace of mind, and not so they don't lose their mind. It may need to hear that their feelings and thoughts are valid and how to work through those, and knowing that therapy is a good place to start for that. To be able to work through and tease through some of those deeply ingrained beliefs that make reciprocity hard to give and receive. So definitely please share. And we will proceed to balanced reciprocity, which is more so if you go to the store and you pick up a bag of chips, the immediate exchange is you pay for them. So there's that third component as well. Do you have any thoughts about balanced reciprocity?
I'm over here reading comments.
Oh,
I
what you
totally,
read?
no,
What's
I'm
the
reading. I totally feel all of this. My worst is being a Black female boss. The silent expectation of me staying late, never taking off, feeling like I'm never hitting the mark unless I give 130%, never leave on time. Right. That is unhealthy. And people do make us feel that way. And Danielle said that people are forever forcing guilt on you for taking care of yourself because you want to do something nice for yourself. Then they make you people think that it's okay to guilt people for that. It is not. It is not okay to do that. And we have to set boundaries, as she said earlier, and not allow people um, to treat us that way. But balanced reciprocity, that is a thing. I do a thing, you do a thing. Um, but that has to be something that's agreed upon by both parties. That if we both have to have the understanding that we are participating in balanced reciprocity, or it's going to be unbalanced. So if only one party is thinking that the other party owes them something immediately and doesn't voice that, yeah, then you're going to have a problem and you're going to be forever, you're going to be mad. So now you're going to have an attitude because, well, I did this, so you should have done that. Well, did we talk about it? Did we discuss it? Did we agree upon it? And if we didn't agree upon it, you can't really fault me for not doing it, right?
exactly? Well, and you said something there about agreeing on it, and that is why I intentionally put the discussion of boundaries and how and communication and self accountability before this discussion, because those are all components that you have to have in order to even be able to understand, engage, and appreciate balanced or healthy reciprocity, or even generalized reciprocity that you might, with the example with I buy you a drink, so maybe sometime in the future you might get my drink or something like that. To even know that that's one, okay, that expectation, if you're in a relationship, is okay to have, but you want to know if those boundaries line up with the person you're in a relationship with. If you have, when you engage in any type of relationship, there has to be an agreement. So if, like you said, if this person is over here with their uncommunicated expectations, and then this person is doing just what they know to do in their own experience, then that's where that tension, that breakdown starts to happen. And then you got folks out here mad. So definitely learning, what are my boundaries? How do I communicate those boundaries? When? That's all stuff that we work on very specifically in therapy. So definitely, if you find yourself struggling in any part of the giving or receiving process of reciprocity, whether that be one of the prior three building blocks or this conversation more specifically, definitely reach out to us. I will put the number up there so you guys can text um, us and we can get you set up so you can start your journey or continue your journey to developing healthy foundational behaviors, beliefs, thoughts, and emotions that can lead you to people that will, the relationship will be reciprocal and mutually beneficial, because that's the whole point, is that relationships that you engage in have to be mutually beneficial. Even with a job, like, okay, I had to agree on the rate of pay. If I don't like the rate of pay and they're not willing to pay me what I would like, I need to look somewhere else. So I do a job, I get paid. um, you do this, I do that, favor for favor, benefit for benefit, but it does have to be mutual. And I think that is where we get hung up, because one, we don't know how to communicate that. Two, we are not aware of ourselves in that process. And three, we may not even know what we want or how or what to communicate. So I always start with that with clients, especially if they go through a breakup or lose or leave a job, or people find themselves being extra stressed out by people. The first thing we're going to assess is their boundaries and what are they allowing and why are they allowing it, and then redirecting or reconstructing those thought processes. So I found this interesting. I found actually a study that was done by a socialist in um, 1974. So, oh, buddy, what he did was he sent out 600 Christmas cards to strangers, just random people, and he got 200 responses back. He didn't ask for nothing. He just sent it out and got it back. So of the 600, he got 200 back, which I found that number to be interesting because I think sometimes we can go into something maybe consciously or subconsciously expecting something, but truth be told, it's not a lot of people trying to reciprocate. It just isn't. Of those 600, not even half did he get back. Now, granted, they didn't have to, but the willingness to respond or reciprocate was only felt by a quarter of the people that old buddy sent the cards to. So that in and of itself, I think we need to put that into perspective, that everybody that you love and adore is not going to want to give you equal effort back. And I feel like sometimes that's a hard pill for us to swallow. What are your thoughts?
It's definitely a hard pill for me to swallow, and it's something that I, yeah, actively working on, because I have been that person to where not really needing someone to do anything in return for whatever, but kind of feeling like, well, shit, I'm doing the most, and I don't have to do none of this, and I really don't need them to do anything, but it would be nice for a little appreciation. And I have had to have some very hard conversations with myself in regards to the amount of energy that I give other people and the amount of energy that is given back to me, because it's basically not existent. And I had to really have this has been a hard thing for me. Oh, they said you braid so fast on top of who?
No, we've been watching her braid that hair out. We've been watching her. She did a promo video.
I'll tag her on my page when we get off of here, and then you can, yeah. But she's the truth. Anyway, but I have had these conversations, and I have had to work on this, and I'm still working on this. This is not something that I am healed from. Like I actively be low key. Like, I don't be mad. I be disappointed. And I have had to have conversations with myself and say, Star, hello, no one owes you anything. I know that you do a lot for people, but some people just don't give a fuck. Okay? Oh, I don't give a fuck. Don't give a damn.
I don't know.
Fuck. Okay. Well, sure. But that I don't, people don't give, and they don't even have the desire. They don't have the desire, and I had to swallow that in myself and say, self, just because you feel away does not mean that other people feel away. Mm-hmm. I don't feel away. And so I'm not kidding. I turned 40 in December of last year. And
Yay!
yay, woo, yeah, like, but it was a hit. Yeah, so I was disappointed by a lot of people that I have went above and beyond because I think that birthdays are something that deserves to be celebrated. Like this is a big thing. Like this is your holiday, right? This is your birth anniversary, right? This is celebrating you coming into the world. And I always go woo for everybody for their birthdays because birthdays are special to me, and I think that everybody's birthday is special. So I want to go extra hard for people, but then the realization of people not not feeling the same about me was hard because I'm like, wait a minute, okay, um, y'all know I like my braids extra long, um, but I had to be like, okay, okay. So it's okay. So it is. I got to be okay with people not wanting to celebrate me,
Yeah. And
even though I celebrated them. I have to be okay with that because that's something I chose to do. Then they chose not to reciprocate, and I had to really like I had this was a struggle and because it's a struggle for me to put self first. I had to like start like literally hashtagging all of my posts self first. I'm not selfish. I'm by far not selfish. I am selfless. But I had to start saying self first because I was not putting my needs first and I needed to actively work towards putting myself first, not being selfish at all, but just putting myself first and doing that self reciprocation that I talked about earlier instead of expecting other people to reciprocate the energy that I put out into the world because I'm never going to get back the energy that I put out into the world. The good energy, the good vibes, the things that I do for people, I'm never getting that back. And I have to be okay with that because that's the person that I am. I'm not going to stop doing it because I did. I got mad or again disappointed. I was like, I ain't doing nothing else for nobody. I'm about to be like everybody else. I'm about to not care. I'm about to. That lasted 30 seconds because that's not me.
right.
I'm not that person. I am not a person that is selfish. So I do give a damn. So I couldn't force myself not to give a damn just because other people didn't. And that was a thing that I struggled with, but again, came to terms with and continue to have to come to terms with that daily. It's hard, but it's necessary.
And that,
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
yeah, I was going to tell you, you said that. Yay. So that is an area that people come to therapy for a lot. And they say things like, oh, I wish I could just be one of those people that blah, 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 don't care, don't. And I get the sentiment behind it. Like, I wish I weren't so hurt. I wish I didn't want to overextend myself, but you don't have to. So again, there's the beauty of having boundaries and and vetting who you give your energy to and what characteristics you would need a person to have in order for you to give them your energy. And two, fighting that belief that I don't deserve, or it means that I'm worthless, which is another negative belief. One, not all of them, but one of the negative beliefs that could come from that is I don't deserve, or I'm worthless, or I'm less than, or whatever, which also would come through a mindset that has kind of been passed down to us. So definitely deciding where you want to start and stop as far as you and other people, what you want to give and what you don't want to give, being sure that you know how to verbalize that to someone else to give them the opportunity to say if they do or don't want to be involved, but not taking it personal if they don't, because a lot of times if a person doesn't want to give something to you, that has more to do with them and whatever they may be experiencing than it has to do with you. And so separating yourself from what a person is unwilling to do for you and understanding, people value different things and they value them in different ways. So even if you do have somebody who wants to reciprocate, you may not see it in the same way that you gave it. And so that is a discussion to have. That's where we get to love languages. Some people receive love or process love in gifts and words of affirmation, while others may process love in acts of service or physical touch. You know what I'm saying? So you may be an acts of service person, while I may be a gifts person. So maybe the exchange would be I do an act of service, or I give you a gift, whichever one I said, and then you give me acts of service back. That may be what it looks like. But just because I'm doing maybe a free act of service, like doing dishes, doing washing your car, folding your clothes, even though that is free and you buy me a gift, at least we understand that that's how each other gives and receives love. So it still is an equal exchange because we know how each other expresses love, and not taking it personal as to why they don't express love in the way I think they should. So you can't give love in the way that you would receive it unless that person receives love in the same way that you do. So that's a very important conversation to have. And if you're unsure of how to have that conversation, you might want to start back at the beginning of the installment of this series with the first live we did of the month, talking about effective communication and how to carry that out. Again, please share this live. Thank y'all so much for coming on. And so just to kind of wrap things up, we, in summary, want to say that definitely where superiority or a position of superiority or control exists, reciprocity probably can't exist there. So again, that's where, unfortunately, us as African American folks have to more actively seek out and advocate reciprocity for ourselves, because we already don't live in a system that supports us being in any equal exchange, really, of anything. So that's something we're going to have to cultivate within ourselves, within our relationships and community. And a good way to start that is definitely going to therapists that can understand your plight and your position and your struggles, so that they can help you maneuver those spaces in adaptive ways. So, but some other components of reciprocity look like cooperation with each other. There has to be, both people have to agree to cooperate. Interdependence. Whew, we kind of talked a lot about that, with the expectation of being the strong Black woman and I don't need nobody. Interdependence doesn't really exist in that mindset or that space, which is a maladaptive mindset to have, because we are relational beings. So we definitely need people for something. Like, for me to say I don't need nobody, in short, means I don't need my job, because people do pay me to do a service for them. So if I don't need people, well, then I don't need customers. If I don't need people, well then, I don't need, whatever service provider or product provider for any of the goods and services that I personally need. So we got to just reassess what we're saying and the meaning behind what we're saying. And we just talked about this. The relationship has to be important and meaningful to both parties. Can't just be meaningful and important to one person, because relationships that you try to fix and maintain alone are going to stay broken. They're not going to stay intact because it takes two or two sides. Both people have to have an ability to accept responsibility for the relationship and for themselves. So you guys can definitely view our self-accountability live to discover ways to work on and be aware of that in your own journey. This one. And it's just such a major lack of it. It just even makes me cringe. Emotional maturity. Whew, that is an entirely different live. That's not even, that's different. And we will talk about it, but that has to exist. And then, of course, the discussion of boundaries and how both parties process receipt. So, I don't know. What are your thoughts?
In total agreement with everything you said, and especially the part on relationships, no matter what kind of relationship, has to be important to both parties. It's important to, if a person volunteers their service, should you be responsible for paying for that service if they volunteer? Well, if they volunteer to do it for free, doggies, dog issues.
It's okay. Mr. Carter used to cut up, but now he got his special necklace.
Don't do Mr. Carter.
I'm sorry.
You good?
She got a thing on her dog neck. Don't worry about her. She'll be mean old beating. Ain't no dog mama. But anyway, so yeah, if a person if they volunteer to do it for free, then no, you're not responsible for paying them for that service. However, if you would like to show them a token of your appreciation for doing said service for free, that would be a great thing to do, because they didn't have to volunteer that service. And then if they didn't, you would have had to pay for it. And now they saved you from having to pay for it. So and it doesn't even have to be like a financial acknowledgement of them doing this service for you. A simple thank you, a cooked meal, something to show appreciation for them would be a good thing. Not that you have to, but it would just be being a good person, being a good human. It would be great. You ain't got to. Okay, so if you don't, they really can't be mad. They can be like me and their feelings are hurt, but they can't be mad because they did volunteer. But you can, do it. That's what I would think on that is, no, you don't owe them any money. They offered to do it for free. But a thank you and a small token of your appreciation, no matter what it is. It could be a cupcake. I mean, anything. It could be a card. It could be whatever. It's the thought of you saying, I appreciate you going out of your way to provide me a service that I would have had to pay for, but now I didn't because you did that thing for me for free. So I appreciate you. I mean, it's nothing like y'all don't even realize how much just somebody. I'm going to speak for myself. I'm not going to speak in general terms. You just don't know. For me, showing me you appreciate me, and even the least smallest little amount will get you so far with me, and will get like the amount of distance that I will go out of my way to help you or do something for you will be like unimaginable, just because I'm used to being the person that does and never really. Hi, Mr. Carter. Hi, buddy.
He was tearing everything down off the couch in silence.
Mr. Carter. But that is
okay, booty hole.
Right. He's so
she
rude.
knew you'd be done braiding by the time that was over. Yeah, we've been at this for a while. She's not very. I don't know. She might not be happy with me right now because I decided I wanted to get these teeny tiny braids, which are smaller than what I normally get, my normal set of braids. So, but she loved me though. And it's okay. Now. Don't do that. It was that. And I had to go get us some stuff we was talking about yesterday. So I had to go buy some stuff. But just be a good human, y'all. And that's really what I consider reciprocity, is just being a good human, just being a good friend, just being a good partner, just be a good person. It ain't gonna kill you to tell somebody thank you. It's not gonna kill you to show a little reciprocity. Again, it doesn't have to be, as Dominique said, in the same way. It does not have to be the same mode that they gave you. It can be another way, but just showing someone that you give a damn goes a long way. And especially in the day and time that we're living in right now, times are hard for everybody. It's a struggle mentally. 2020, 2021, and 2022, as in also has been like hell on everybody's mental health. And like, so just being nice to a person or kind to someone who's done a thing for you, it's just a good thing to do.
Yeah. And just kind of going back to that study with the sociologist, that study of him sending out those 600 cards and responses, that was to test the ability of humans to have.
She's sitting at the kitchen table, so he ain't up against
appreciation.
Yeah.
Love language. I gotta fix it. I wish either one of them would. No, but he's small, so he get away with it. And he's just up there.
I just don't know why he does that. That's just how he lives his life. That's how he lives his life.
That's his perch.
Yeah, it's weird. And the people at the pet store are like, he just does that? I'm like, yeah, he's just been doing that since he was a baby. Just why does he climb up here? I don't know.
I had a dog who did that. And so where they're comfortable, it's their comfort zone. So that's what they are. That's like us. We revert to where we're comfortable. So if he's been doing that since you got him, that's his comfort zone. That's where he feels comfortable.
Even though he's a whole grown dog, still standing on my shoulders like that.
Doesn't matter. It's still his comfort zone. you're his blankie.
Mr. Carter, get that toy and play with it. So yeah, just some people don't. The study was done to test our innate desire to want to reciprocate with another human. And to be honest, again, not many people just naturally want to do that. for whatever reason, you know? So being able to seek out that group for yourself, those people that do want to engage in reciprocity, is going to be your best bet, because it's not an innate desire to or obligation felt by. See, I'm the type of person, I would want to give something. It may not be the exact same thing, but I would want to give something. So so yeah, something to consider. And if you're having a hard time in the giving or receiving portion of reciprocity, text the word new to this number and we'll get you straight. But if you know, you know, and if you don't know, then I'm so sorry. You don't know. You'll want to text this number so you'll know the next time. You'll want to text new to this number so you'll know the next time. Or you're going to want to go to yellowbirdcounseling.com and subscribe to our newsletter so you will know what we're going to do. But before I get to that, do you have any closing comments for us?
Taking off mute. No, just everybody. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. Reciprocity is a big thing for me, so that was a topic that I was very much excited to talk about because I've dealt with the lack of it so much that it has started to make me sort of a bitter Betty, and I didn't like that. And again, like you said, Dominique, I've been that person talking to my own therapist saying, I want to not care. I want to not do. I want to don't give a damn like everybody else, knowing good and damn well that ain't me. I can't do that. I'm not that person. But at the time, I felt like it. And so I felt like I don't want to do nothing for nobody no more. I want to be selfish too. No, I don't. But I felt like that. And it's okay. You just have to, if you feel that way sometime, you just need to be able to voice it. And so that's the thing, like she said, she talked about communication before this topic, because in order to make sure that you are receiving a healthy dose of reciprocity in your relationships, you need to be able to communicate that your desires. So if you don't tell people, then don't expect them to know. Because again, what we talked about at the beginning, everybody did not grow up the same. Everybody does not have the same, was not taught the same. Things have not been dismantled the same. You have people that have never been to therapy, so they've never dealt with their traumas, and they've never dealt with these biases that they have against. Some people think that you shouldn't reciprocate energy. There are people that believe that. And it's because they haven't done the work to understand that, yeah, that's psycho. And that you think you shouldn't have to do nothing for nobody else ever. And you just go through life, because no one goes through life without needing help. Mm-hmm. It's not a thing that happens. And we all need somebody. At one point in our life, I don't care who you are, what you have, you did not amass it by yourself. You did not get there by yourself. You will not make it in life by yourself. We are not meant to be by ourselves. And by ourselves doesn't mean to be, I'm not even talking about in a romantic relationship. I'm just talking about any kind of relationship in general. You're going to need somebody. So if you feel that you don't need to tell anybody, thank you ever, or show appreciation ever, you're going to have a sad, lonely existence, because there are going to be people that are not like me and Dom's client that are going to say, I'm going to just not care, and they're going to mean it. they just not going to do no more. And then you're going to be like, whoa, wait, now they acting funny. No, they're returning that energy that you're giving out. That's zero.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Love it. What up, as your braider, what up on them stitch braids?
She don't like doing stitch braids.
Ah, there you go.
So she said she do the small ones. She said she'll do the small ones.
The small stitch. How long that take?
2 hours.
2 hours.
Oh, dude, I got my own hair. Can I?
I provide my own hair.
She provide hair. And
Oh, okay.
If you want the big one, she do it myself.
she's her sister do the big ones. If you want the big ones, she do the small ones.
Well, if it only takes 2 hours for the small ones, I'll get them.
Come on then.
Yeah. So, however much it is, just let Star know. She'll cover it for me, and then I will reciprocate something for her.
I got you. It's like a plan.
Yeah, braids before I go to New York. You know what I'm saying?
Put some money she needed in New York.
Say that again.
I need to have been all over everywhere.
But then
she know her braids. Every time I go out of town, everybody stop me in the airport, wherever. They're like, "Oh, your braids so pretty." I'm like, "Yeah, my niece did it."
I love that. What's her stuff? Is she on social media? So
Yeah, she Manisha Anderson and Lil Thing is Li.
you gotta put it in the comments.
I commented earlier, but I didn't see it. But it says private chat. So that
you
you
gotta
got to see it. I can't.
You gotta click over to for everybody. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Here
but
it is.
I can't type it.
Oh, hold on. Let me copy and paste it. I see it. No.
It don't matter. I'll make a post on my page. It'll be open. So if y'all go to my Facebook page, I'll tag her social in on my page when we get off of here.
Yeah, that way y'all can.
Baby, y'all look at this precision.
I know.
Look at them parts.
Yeah.
Look at them parts, baby. Look at them parts.
Yes, that's what. See, I love that. I love a clean part. a clean, even part. You know what I'm saying?
Period, Pooh.
So cool. All right. Well,
my Facebook page is Star Rob. STARROBB.
R-O-B.
That's me. STAR space ROBB.
Awesome. So again, if you know, you know that tonight is $100 Cash App giveaway.
Manisha did. That's the Cash App.
So if you are on our Yellowbird Counseling newsletter or you are in our text community, this number below, you know that that's what we're doing, and you knew what to do to be eligible for that chance to win. So let's see. Ooh, I always love the Cash App giveaway. Yeah. I can't do it now. Now that I said it. Yep, and it would be right before the weekend, so you can get your fit for whatever party you're trying to go to. You got some food and drink money. You know what I'm saying? Nothing out your paycheck, just a little something extra. So you want to know when we do those because it's random. If you want to know when we do those, it's random for the general public, but it's not random for people on the newsletter and the text community. You want to text the number below. Or you're going to want to go to yellowbirdcounseling.com, subscribe to our newsletter so you'll know. All right, let's see. We got. I'm gonna just spell your name out and your number. Let me see how many we have. 1, 2. This is the most we've ever had. Oh my God. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Hold on, y'all. Let me get my thoughts together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you gotta be present to win. 7. Y'all been talking. I appreciate it. Yeah. You share this live. 8.
Y'all better talk to me. That's right.
9. I think the braiding really helped.
Thank you.
Yeah. 10. Oh, y'all trying to get up. I see. 11. I see y'all. Dang.
Thank you. They say my hair is so nice.
I think we got 11. So now I'm going to give the people their numbers, and then I'm going to pull up our special number wheel. Your hair looks so nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
Somebody, I'm gonna let you answer while I give people their numbers. But somebody said, Toya said, if a person call you gullible, is that an insult?
It depends on their intent, right? So sometimes people can say things and not their intent is not to insult. However, you may feel insulted, and that is also your business. That is so. If you feel that was an insult, then you can then voice to that person, "Hey, I felt you calling me gullible was an insult. Did you mean it that way?" And then it's up to them to either say, "Yes, I did," or "No, I didn't." And if yes, they did, and then I took offense to it. And if they don't apologize,
You might want to reassess your interaction with the person.
because again, I say things a lot of times I don't mean no harm, but people that people could take as a insult, but I don't be meaning it that way.
That'd be like me. Sometimes I'll be laughing at something and people think I'm being rude.
Okay, ma'am.
Next topic. Good. I hope you got what you needed in that answer. All right, I'm gonna start giving y'all your numbers.
Y'all don't be laughing at her, Toya. Oh, Betty.
All right, Natasha, you are 1. Toya, you are 2. Y'all gotta remember your numbers, okay? So when you win, because I ain't gonna remember because y'all deep in here. So Natasha is 1, Toya is 2. K Candles and More is 3. Y'all better get y'all some candles. Gerald, is it Gerald? Gerald Brown is 4. I missed number 3. Charmel is 5. Felicia is 6. Rashida is 7.
The dog pound.
Tiffany is 8. Kiki is 9. Jaleese is 10. And Danielle is 11. I think that's everybody. All right, y'all. I'm about to do this thing. You know how I share my screen because I don't want y'all to think I'm playing favorites. So hold on. Let me get it up and going. Hold on, I gotta do a new tab. So y'all can see the number counter wheel. All right. New tab. Cool. All right. Now y'all can see. So random, what is it? Random number. Oh, here goes the number wheel generator. I love this thing. So, yay, we got 11 people on here. I don't even know how to act. All right, so the minimum is 1, the max is 11. Okay. So let's spin this wheel, see what we come up with. Oh, wait, can you change? Never mind. Let me, okay. Wait, can you shuffle? What does that mean? Shuffle? All right, let's spin the wheel. Spin it. All right. Woo! Who's number 9? I do not remember. Who is number 9? So we can get it. Number 9, you better say something. Let's see. Oh no, I skipped one. What happened? Who did I skip? I thought I counted 11 and gave 11 numbers out. Who's number 9 though? Kiki? Is it? I know how I counted. No, I gave you a number. Did I say your name wrong? Oh, it's Priscilla. I'm sorry. I said Felicia. My bad. I thought that it was a PH. It's a PR. And that still wouldn't even be Felicia. But so that was me. I counted you. I just said your name wrong. I'm sorry. No, it was whoever. I said Felicia, but it's Priscilla. Sorry. Okay, so Kiki, that's who it was. Y'all sure? Where's she at? Because you got to be present to win. So I'm trying to see if she could say something in the comments. They aren't present. Redo. Well, I'm trying to.
Here. Go to the next one.
Dang, man. Just missing out on a blessing. Hold on. Let's see. People come. Redo. Y'all, I got to give people a chance. Well, I'm sorry. I didn't do it for IG. I did need to do it for them. But that was, I do it on here. She went to bed. Okay, I'm gonna count to 5 from 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, I guess she's not here, so let me do it again. I was about to. All right, hold on. Let me spin the wheel again. Who is number 1? Let's see. Number 1. Who was it? Number 1, show yourself in the comments. Y'all tell them congratulations and give them hearts and stuff if they. Well, let's see. Who is it? Natasha, are you here? Oh, yep, she said me. Yay. All right, cool. I'm going to send it right now. So y'all know I don't be capping. I don't want to be accused of cap. So I always do it right then and there so y'all can see and know that I actually do send the money and don't just be talking, because y'all know it'd be people that be just talking. So congratulations. Y'all give her hearts and congratulations. Let me make sure I get it right, because I have sent money to the wrong person before, and that person blocked me. They're like, you are not getting that money back, even though I know you didn't mean to. I asked them nice and everything. And they was like, All right, let's see. Hold on. Y'all been commenting. I'm trying to find her correct. But I feel like Natasha's won before, so maybe she's already in here, but I still just need to double check so I don't send it to. Y'all is really just. Hold on. Yay! Natasha, can you put your put it back down there because it's a lot of comments. And I'm trying to make sure I send it to the right person. I know I skipped her.
All right, guys, I'm going to tag Manisha on my page, but I have a TikTok live that I'm supposed to be on right now.
Oh, bye.
We are about to talk about the Black community and Christianity.
Oh, I'm coming. I'm coming.
All right, bye, y'all.
Bye, thanks. I found her. Yep, you had one before. I'm putting congratulations from Yellowbird Counseling in the 3 yellow hearts. There you go. All right. All right. All right. Yep. I was like, dang, I sent you $200. There you go. Sent it. It's sent. You sent it. So if y'all want the opportunity to win, one of 2 ways you can, the most reliable way though would be to subscribe to the newsletter because it'll be announced every single month. So definitely go to yellowbirdcounseling.com and subscribe to our newsletter right now. If you subscribe to our newsletter, you can get 20% off of any Yellow YBC brand merchandise. One of those things being this I support minority mental health awareness shirt and other things, so you can get a percentage off. Also, that's where you can schedule your appointments or request information or appointments, look at our team, all of that. And we just redid our website, so definitely go over there and take a look. It's yellowbirdcounseling.com. I'll put it in the comments so you can just simply click the link. Or if you are interested in services, you can just text the word new, yellowbirdcounseling.com. You can text the word new and get it that away. Okay. Yeah. All right. But we will definitely be seeing you next week with new topics of discussion to benefit other areas of people. And tie it back to how we could all benefit from having a therapist. But I really enjoyed y'all tonight. Thank y'all so much for sticking around. And I will see you soon. I will see you guys soon. Next week on Thursday, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, which is 9 p.m. Eastern, which is 6 p.m. Pacific. So I will see you guys then. Until then, be safe and stay hydrated and cool. Bye.